Well,
Hey, here we are.
okay, so welcome to Radio FM 88 Thursday show, 7 o'clock in Queensland, normal time, and of course 10 o'clock daylight saving over in the UK. None other than Priti Paulline is our co-host. Our guest today is none other than Alka, and actually I'm going to hand it straight across to Priti Paulline, and she can then do the introductions. And we're in for a good show because we've just been talking off here. Okay.
Hey, good morning, Jeff. Thank you very, very much indeed. It is a delight to be here again. And it's also a great delight for me to be able to introduce to you Alka, who has a fascinating life story that began, well, let's not say we're ladies here. We don't give away our age just like that. But some years back, in the legal world as a solicitor, but there became an aha moment in her life, and I think we'll let her tell the story. How about that? Welcome, Alka.
Thank you very much, Priti Paulline. Thank you. Right. Okay. So I was a solicitor for about 28 years. And I dealt with very, very complex cases, primarily family and child protection cases. And as I say, they were very complex. But my whole life, as you know, even as a child, it's always been to help people. So I worked really hard for my clients. You know, my total focus was on them. And I knew their full life stories. I knew what made them tick, what would cause them distress. And I just worked and worked and worked. And I worked very, very hard. So, you know, one of my cases is actually a precedent, which means that, you know, and I started that from the beginning to the end, which means that it's referred to in cases, you know, similar cases in England, and it's because it's a precedent, they can't really go against it. So, you know, university students are tested on it as well.
Yeah.
So that doesn't happen often, but you know, it happened. So as I said, my whole life was dedicated to working for my clients. But then things didn't sit easily with me. I found that, you know, the external constraints, you know, imposed by the government, you know, you can only do this much work for this amount of money. And, you know, I found that really the time that was devoted to the clients was actually being curtailed. And it didn't sit well with me. Then when I went into child protection, that was even worse. And I found, you know, that whereas I was trying to work with all the institutions, you know, social services and the police and, you know, the other solicitors involved, it was really, everybody was trying to pass the buck. And nobody was actually trying to get to the issue of what was really important, which was the children. So one day I was coming home from meditation, and it was in the early hours of the morning. And I remember specifically, this was in the streets of London, which were, you know, normally crowded, but at that time it was basically, you know, traffic free. And I thought, Alka, you love your job, but you don't like the people you work for, and you don't like the system. So what are you doing in it? And I thought, well, because I'm in it, I'm actually part of the system. And that was like a big shock for me. I thought, I don't want to be part of this system that I don't believe in, that doesn't really look after the children, that doesn't really look after the clients properly. And that was on a Saturday morning. Come Monday morning at 9 o'clock, I handed in my notice. And I didn't have a job to go to, but I handed in my notice, and And everybody was shocked because I was the busiest solicitor. In fact, I was referred to by one barrister or counsel as the busiest solicitor on the circuit. So it was a complete shock for everyone. And that was it, really. So I never looked back. However, what happened after that decision, which was a decision from the heart, which was, I can't do this because actually I don't agree with what's happening. There was money, and I had a lot of money, but I gave up all of that. And then after that, virtually immediately after that, everything around me collapsed. My whole world, it felt that it had been, turned inside out. And I lost my money, I lost status, I lost friends, I lost family, I lost everything. And I was out on a limb. So those were excruciating years. But in those years, what I did do was I found my way back to what gives me passion, which is helping people. And it really does. It's where I feel the happiest, the most joyful, when I can help somebody who thinks that nothing works for them. But then when you help them, and it does, there's nothing like it. So that's my story, really. So, yes, so after that, as I say, my marriage broke down. I just had to move. But then it was a process of finding myself.
Wow. So all that from being in a meditation and walking, if you like, walking the streets of London late at night without
Well, I wasn't
traffic.
walking, I was driving. I only walked the streets of London.
You were driving in the streets of London. Okay. But yet still not very much traffic around.
No traffic. And it was just an
out
of the blue.
And
totally.
Yeah, out of the blue came this, you're not happy, are you? This isn't doing what you want to do. This isn't helping people. This is a restricted system. I'm not doing this anymore. Monday morning, and then, wow. So that corporate life just fell away.
It fell away along with everything else in my life. It fell away.
Wow.
And it was starting afresh with absolutely, it was just starting afresh. Okay. I'm not really knowing where I'm going or what I'm doing or how I'm going to do things or, how I'm going to live. That was a dark night of the soul, really. It was like I'd never, ever, ever in my wildest imaginations imagined that I would be in this situation. I didn't think I could ever smile, but, I'd laugh a lot, as you know.
And tell me, if any of that, if you like, past life, does it support what you're doing these days? Is the knowledge and the training and all the intricacy of what you dealt with? Yeah.
Yes, because I, even in those busy times, because I was able to actually see what the client needed, and I was able to read in between the lines, because not everybody's articulate, and I've had some cases which, the results of which were sort of unimaginable, really. Just to give you an example, and I'm not naming names, obviously, but, there was one client who was saying no for contact to her partner in respect to the child. And in England, really, you need to have a cogent reason. And she wasn't giving me anything. And I remember all she kept saying was, he's not going to have it. He's not going to see he's not going to see, let's just say Molly, for example. He's not going to see Molly. Yeah. And that was only set of instructions she gave me. And I remember putting down my pen, thinking, well, I can't do a statement based on this. And then I just let her carry on talking. And then after a while, she just burst into tears. And it actually was the case that her partner's brother, who was living in the house, was actually a paedophile. And well, once we got that information and we managed to get some evidence, there was no way in the world that I was going to allow the partner to see that child. And we got an order for no contact. Even though the court welfare officer, in those days, they were called court welfare officer. Even in those days, the court welfare officer, I spoke to her and she said, are you serious? She said, you know what I'm going to recommend? I'm going to recommend contact. And I really argued with her. And I said, there's a potential paedophile in that property. Anyway, she agreed in the end. And that was wonderful. That was a wonderful result, you see. And that was purely by putting my pen down and actually saying, what is going on? Rather than, some solicitors would have just said, well, that's a load of rubbish. I'm just going to put that in, let the court give her a rollicking.
Let the court decide.
Yeah, but I didn't. And that's what I missed. I think that's what I realized, that with the way that things were going, there was no way that I could give that level of care. And it doesn't take a lot, actually, just to sit down, put your pen down and actually hear what the other person is saying. And somehow, now I do have this effect on people that somehow they start to talk to me. And we got that information. Whereas that child would have been in danger.
Yeah. And how does that serve what you're doing these days?
It's the same principle. Because I hear,
here comes the smile.
Yeah, I hear the, my client. The bottles, for example, when we do a constellation, the bottles will also reveal what's going on, so it's a lot easier. And then I can just hone in. And but it's very easy. It's not difficult. Some of the information that comes through is actually quite heartbreaking. But because it's easily accessible, and it's actually a very gentle form of getting to the root of issues, because the client themselves will choose a bottle or bottles. Yeah. And the way I explain to them is it's your soul that's choosing, and whatever your soul is choosing is something that you can deal with currently. So, for example, if you were a murderer in a past life or past situation, if you can't deal with that, that won't come up currently until you've removed another layer. And then next time it may come up, or the time after that, or whatever. But it's basically, it's whatever, you can handle, can comfortably handle. Yes, it doesn't mean to say there won't be tears. There are tears, but they're tears of release. It's not tears of, oh, woe is me. There's no woe is me in this at all. It is, right, wow. Oh my God, did I really think like that? Oh my God, is that really how things happened? And, it's a resolve not to do it again. It's a resolve, it's an incredible system. I'm quite honestly, I'm gobsmacked most of the time. I'm gobsmacked by what comes up, even though I shouldn't be. I've been doing it for years. Yeah. But, it's just so.
What led you? What led you into finding the color mirrors?
Well, as I say, after I gave up my employment. I was looking at what to do, and I wanted to do things that would help people. So I did I did Reiki, and I was doing a master's in Reiki masters, And then the lady who was doing the course with me, with my teacher, started spraying these bottles, and some of them, like I said, these sort of bottles.
Okay.
And immediately I felt a change in energy in the room. And I thought, oh, wow, this is wonderful. It was immediate. It was like, and then I thought I would buy some bottles so that I could use them on clients. Anyway, I bought £800 worth of bottles. And because I bought so many, in for a penny, literally in for pounds. So I bought so many bottles, and then I had a phone call from Anita O'Hagan, was a lady, and she said, because you bought so many bottles, I just wondered, do you want to do the practitioner's course? And I said, oh, yes. She said, well, there's a last practitioner's course happening in 3 weeks' time, because Moira Bush, who is the Colour Mirrors teacher, is going to be emigrating to Canada. So do you want me to let her know? So I said, yes, do. I had no idea what Colour Mirrors was. I actually didn't have a clue. I absolutely had no idea. But I went along to the course, and every moment was an aha moment. It was literally, I was so obviously in tune with the colours that even it was an intensive 7-day intensive course. And it was up in the Midlands. So I only had a limited amount of clothing that I took. And for every day I wore the colour that we were going to be dealing with that day. I didn't have a clue we were going to be dealing with that colour. It was just intuitive. It was like I was just so in tune with colour. And even one day, actually, I spilled coffee down my friends. I thought, I can't go in like this. So I went home, or went back to the hotel and changed. And when I came back, we were doing the colour of the dress I was wearing then. So
the colour chose you.
Yes, exactly. But every moment was, because I've been on a spiritual journey since my childhood, really.
Yeah.
But so this was just a culmination of all my spiritual practices, really. It was, as I say, every moment was an aha moment. It was just beautiful. And I think that was just one of the most incredible courses. And then a year later, I went to Canada to do my teacher training course with Moira, which was incredible. And now I've done the teacher's training, so I can teach up to teacher level.
Yeah. And how do they work? I mean, what are they filled with? What are these bottles all about?
Well, there's it's oil at the bottom and water at the top, and they're infused with energy. And every bottle, it doesn't matter whether you're going through the dark night of the soul or having the time of your life. Every bottle contains a message, and then when you pick various bottles, and it depends on the reading. I mean, to be honest with you, whenever I do a reading, I never know how I'm going to start it or what's going to happen. So it's just in the moment. It is literally in the moment. And you can choose a number of bottles depending on what comes up. Sometimes I say just pick one. Sometimes I say pick 3. Sometimes 5. Sometimes pick as many as you want. And when it feels complete, stop. And then those bottles, because I've also done the advanced, in fact, I teach the advanced color as well. When you have a different set of combinations, those say even more about what's going on within you. So because we're vibration and color is a vibration, basically the colors that you choose, you can never get it wrong, never. The colors that you choose will go straight to your subconscious. And so then
Okay.
they're uncovering deep layers of what is actually going on. You know what? Very often, you see, we ourselves don't know what is going on with us. We don't, you know. That's why
we don't know what we don't know.
We don't, and we think that life is treating us badly, or you know that you know, you can't get out of this rut. Well, color shows you where you're stuck, how you're stuck, and how you can get out of being stuck. So, you know, it shows you what the issue is, and it shows you a way out of the issue. And then when you bathe in the bottles, you know, because color affects us on all levels, but particularly when you bathe with the bottles, what happens is that the messages of the bottles actually seep right into you. And it just helps you. It just helps in the transformation.
Yeah.
In your transformation.
So, yeah. In the slide that Jeff put up, I thought I counted 86 bottles. Is that about right?
Yeah, there's actually more because there's a few missing on this one. This was this is an old one.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
This
as I
is an
say,
old one.
you know, as we evolve, the bottles have evolved. And initially, actually, I'm sorry, that's not correct. The bottles evolve before we evolve. So they show, it's almost like being shown the path forward. So, you know, the bottles have gone up and up in vibration. And there are other bottles in the system which are very, very high vibrational.
So
you get rid
at least. So the picture that Jeff has showed us is one that was a few years old. And would it be right to say that the bottles that are missing is how humanity's consciousness has evolved in the last little while?
I would say so, yes.
Yeah. Now I'm hugely intrigued by what's not there.
Very interesting, yes. Yes. You know, they're very supportive. The new bottles in particular are very supportive. And as you know, there have been so many shifts, and I'll give you another example. I did a reading for somebody at a fair once, and she was very, you know, down in the dumps, really. And then I saw this, and she bought a bottle, and I saw her a few months later again, and actually she was in the next stall to me this time. And I didn't recognize her at all. This was a really beautiful woman, you know, and I didn't recognize her at all. But obviously she recognized me and she recognized the bottles. And when we started talking, I recognized her from her voice, but the voice was so much more, you know, vibrant. And then I said to her, "Have you been working with the bottle?" And she said, "Oh, no." She said, "It's been on my dressing table." So I was really puzzled. I thought it must have worked somehow. And then the next day she came to me and she said, Alka, she brought a bottle. And, you know, they're dual colored. And the top color had changed to the same color as the bottom color. So then I knew that the bottles had been working on it. And this was a completely different person. And it's just, and that was within 6 months. This was a woman who was confident. The woman I saw before wasn't. Anyway, she then went on to do a practitioner's course with me. And is now a teacher. And, you know, it just gives me so much joy, you know, that she's just been transformed and she loves color as much as I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she came along, she bought, she was, if you like, had an inclination to buy a particular bottle, put it in a room.
And because it's energy and it works on you.
Yes.
It's your intention. And, you know, it's fabulous. I mean, there's so many examples I could give. And that's what I really love about the color, because it's the client's choice, you see. It's got nothing to do with me at all. I'm just there as the facilitator. but it's the client's choice, and they see the results.
Yeah. So you just offer them this choice of all these different colours of bottle, allow them to pick the one that's speaking to them in their own way.
Yes, and it
And
doesn't have
off
to
you
be a
go.
color that you. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a color that you like, or
Yeah.
you know, or don't like. It's whichever one stands out to you in some way. I mean, I've had clients coming in and say, "Oh, that's awful." I said, "Well, that's the one we need."
That's the one for you.
Yeah, you know, and even my own experience where, you know, Moira Bush, my teacher in Canada. Subsequently, I've had a lot of other teachers, Melissa as well, who's founded this system, and Karani, who's I've done the advanced teacher training with. Now I've forgotten my train of thought. Sorry, I'm just going through all my teachers.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just
Well, I mean,
wondering.
my own experience, because Moira had said to me at the teachers' training, she said, when are you going to start to teach? So I said, because I was put on the spot then, and I said, okay, 6 months. And she said, okay. Well, because I've said something, I have to do it.
Oh dear.
So, well, I mean, that's me anyway, to be honest with you. That is,
Yeah. Oh.
you know, if even when with clients in the law days, if I said something, I had to do it.
Yeah.
So, but obviously I was resisting, you know, it was like, okay, you're a solicitor, because I was still a solicitor in my head. You're a solicitor, you know nothing about energy. What are you going to do? These people who come to the workshop will be more intuitive. They'll think you're a fraud. And actually, what do you know? So I was resisting. But because I'd said 6 months, then I thought, well, I'm going to choose a bottle to bathe in to help me get over this. So I went through the bottles, you know, I got all the bottles on my shelf, and I went through, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, which meant I'd missed out 9. Well, 9 is the bottle Mars, and it's a bottle of movement. It's a bottle of action, bottle of passion. Yeah. Well, it's a bottle that I never resonated with, because there'd been too much fire in my life, actually. Even as a lawyer, there had been a lot of fire. So I didn't want to fight people. I didn't want to do any of that. I just wanted a peaceful life. So anyway, I had to bathe in that bottle. And then within 2-3 days, I set up my workshop. And there were 9 people at that workshop.
Very good.
You know, the cosmos has a joke every now and again, doesn't it? It's like pure genius, really, isn't it? And so of all those bottles, are all of them got a planetary relation?
The first 9 do. Yeah, the first
9 do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the rest are, you know, whatever the bottles are. Don't want to say it because I don't want to influence anyone. But they're all wonderful bottles. They're all wonderful.
Yeah.
They've all got even the ones that you may not like actually are the blessings. They're all a blessing, actually.
Cool. So if I were to say to you, Jeff, if you could put the picture up, there's a kind of navy and black one. I can't quite wear. Can you show it again, please?
Navy and black.
Yeah, it's about the fourth or fifth one down. Just going to see if Alka can. Where are we? It's yeah, I can't work out. It's next to it's all like the mint chocolate is on the right of it, green and brown, and on the left of it looks like a cerise and black. That one there, it looks almost black.
Can I just have a look at the picture? Is it possible?
Oh, sorry. I thought I'd done it.
So which one are you talking about?
I point at my thing. So third line down, fourth
Yeah.
line down, the second one in.
Next to
That
the
one.
red and black. Red and
Yep.
dark. Not that one.
Yeah, to me, the one on the right is the mint chocolate.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
this one here, it
yeah.
looks like navy and navy.
Yeah,
Or-
it's actually initiation, but it's an
Ah.
initiation successfully completed.
Oh,
Yeah.
because this is the one that, of all of them, from a distance, I was thinking, oh,
Yeah. So whatever stuff you've gone through, it's over, really. It means it's successfully completed.
jolly good.
In a nutshell.
can-
I mean, there's a lot I could say, but
Yeah. We won't go, well,
yeah.
so an initiation has been completed.
Successfully completed.
Successfully completed. Jolly good. So I get a gold star, and it's
You get a
time
gold star. I
to-
mean, it wasn't easy. Whatever it was you were going through, it wasn't easy.
No.
But it's
No,
over.
no.
It's like you've done
It's
you've
over.
done it.
It's done.
You don't need to do it again.
Okay, very, very, very good. I'm very pleased for that. And that was my just looking at all of them. And of course, I'm super intrigued with the 3 that are not there. That's always my way of.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, I have them. I have all of them.
Yeah.
Not readily accessible.
And
yeah.
is that? I'm just going to ask Jeff. Is there one that talks to you at all? I'm just curious.
Probably that one there, mate.
This one. Oh, he's got a planet. He's picked a planet.
Picked a planet.
If
Well,
all the
that's
planets are at the
Mercury,
top.
actually.
Ooh.
Mercury, the planet of communication.
Yeah.
It's also where masks come off.
Ah.
So yeah,
Oh.
and also you probably need a lot of space around you. You need your own space.
You don't get much more space than Australia.
Yeah,
And
but,
my goodness.
Yes, yeah, but it's Mercury. It's, you're quick. Quick-witted, quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, what are we doing now? All 3 of us. Using technology to communicate, dreaming the new dream,
Exactly.
seeing where things are going.
Yeah. And facilitating
Finding the
communication.
common ground.
I didn't.
Oh, this one.
I'll make that my second one because it reminds me of Fraser Island. I've got a photo where the water is so translucent because it's got the white sand, and then out here is the catamaran. Yeah, it sort of takes me back to that.
Right. Okay. Can you just
So does it
go in a bit more?
looks like a horizon.
Go out a bit more. I just want to make sure. Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, of course.
Come on.
The whales, we spent a lot of time with whales in that type of environment.
Yeah, it's bottle 14, which is about communication, and it's movement. But this with movement, it's like quick movement. So it's technology. So there is, you've chosen the 2, the communication bottle and the movement bottle, but it's quick. Because it's quick, it's like it's to do with technology as well.
I just go.
A lot of movement. It's like moving forward.
It's the closest. I've got the photo. It's not the photo I was thinking about, but that's the.
Oh, see
in the
it?
background. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's basically it's expansive. It's like it's expansive like the sea. It is. It's
Yeah, and all the whales come along.
It's everywhere. I mean, literally, you're in Australia, we're in England. It's global. It's when you're ready to move globally as well.
Yeah, there you
Wow.
go. All right.
All
Is that what you
right.
do in the mornings? Just go grab a bottle in the morning to find out where you're at?
Well, you can do. You can use the bottles in a number of ways. You can meditate with them. You can massage them. You can just hold them anywhere on your bottle. Oh, not on your bottle, on your body, and it will reveal things to you automatically because it goes straight to the subconscious. It will reveal what is deep within, which is desperate to come up to the surface, but hasn't been allowed to. So I've had totally new people to this who've just held a bottle and suddenly tears have started. And it's great. I think every time somebody cries, I say, great. I love it when they cry because we've got there, and it's so quick. It's so quick.
Okay. May I choose another?
You may.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 9, the 9th line, the 3rd one in. It's to me, it looks blackish.
Yeah. Right. That's
Is it black?
It's not black. It's actually dark magenta, very dark magenta on top and bottom. So it looks black. But it's actually, this bottle is G8. In fact, I said G9, didn't I? It's actually G8, which is illumination. And it's like going into the dark to find the light.
Yeah.
It's healing body issues. It's which you are actually with food, aren't you, as well? Because there is light and darkness. Actually, in darkness, you have contracted light. So when you get to that light, it just goes whoosh and expands. So it's actually finding that light, the condensed light, if you like, and letting it come right up and out. And then, that's it, finished. So it's a wonderful bottle. It's a beautiful bottle.
Yeah. And the fact that you said
it really
was
is,
magenta.
because if you look at the colors, the magentas, magenta is the color of divine love. Yeah. And you've got divine love on top and divine love at the bottom. Going into the darkness doesn't mean to say that, you're going through a bad patch at all. It just means that you are finding the light within.
Wow.
Because, there's an aspect of us which is dark as well as light. We're not all light. And sometimes you can only see the light when there's a contrast of the dark. But this is actually finding that real, true light within. It's a wonderful place to actually find that light, because you'll find it.
Yeah. Oh, well, I like that very much.
Yeah. So it's all divine love.
Yeah.
It means that you've always been covered, protected. You've always the divine has always had your back. Let's put it that way. It might not have seemed like it, but it's always had your back.
Yeah,
I can concur with that. The divine has definitely always had my back. That's for sure. Yeah, and the fact that you said it was magenta. Here's the thing. I didn't see it as magenta, but we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, the 9th one in. And from the left.
Yeah, it's the same line. Third.
Okay. Yeah. There was. I worked in engineering, training engineers and training trainers as well, once upon a time, as you did with solicitors. And they were having an image overhaul. And they went into a printers, and there were 4 diamonds, which represented the printers, black, magenta, cyan, and yellow. Because from all of those colours, you could get all the printing colours that you wanted in different proportions. And it's very interesting that the engineers, or the engineering training, chose magenta. Commercial training was yellow, and management training was blue, or the cyan. So that's, how did I do that? I wonder, that I chose magenta. So I'm a little, yeah. Okay, that's
well, that would probably be, if you wanted to really go into that, that would be a separate reading, really.
Of course.
Because we can always go into whatever you want to go into.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, it really is.
And is this what captivates you day in, day out, and you just,
I absolutely, yes, they do. I absolutely love colour. I mean, I've always loved colour. Being of Indian origin, there's a lot of colour in Indian clothes. I love clothes and colour, and but this system is, it's a system I feel I know from within. It resonates at a very deep level.
Yeah. So
and I love it. I'm absolutely in my element when I'm teaching it.
Okay, great. And Jeff has just shown up your email address. So if people want to contact you and they feel inspired to have a reading, they can contact you at this Gmail address?
Yes, they can.
Yeah. And what's the process then? So if I was to send you an email today, say, Alka, do we do it over Zoom, or
we do it over Zoom.
Internet, or is it better in person? How do you work?
I always like, my personal preference is in person, because I'm a people's person anyway. I love people. I really love.
Yes, you have a Facebook page too, so people could get in touch with you through there.
Yes, they can.
And
however, you can't go too far away, then by Zoom is fine. It's I'll give you a spray if you like, and you'll be able to feel. There's a lot of spritzers as well. Let's just do this one. Yeah, these are the spritzers, and this is called Red Angels, which is miracles and prosperity as well. But it's a very grounding spray. But I'm going to spray it, and if you can accept the energy of it, you will feel the difference.
I feel quieter, not so.
It's very grounding.
Yeah, I feel much quieter. Pinging back to the memories of inside the tunnels in Bosnia, very quiet and grounded. Did you feel anything, Jeff?
Time or space.
Pardon me?
Did you feel anything?
Actually, Alka and I already had a session prior to. Yeah. So it was quite interesting how it played out. Went down another conversation there, which is not for public knowledge.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, we could talk about it afterwards.
The things that go on behind my back.
Yeah.
Okay, that's exceptional. That's so good and funny. All right. So with those bottles, I saw that you sprayed it, and of course I did feel the connection, and I felt that grounding and a more quiet moment. And I can still feel it now. And I'm wondering, what's my next question? That's my when a person comes to you for a color mirror reading, these are colors of the soul.
The soul's journey. And, we're all on a journey. So this is your soul choosing the bottles.
Yeah.
Asking you to look at something that either it wants to release or wants you to know, or, because when we're looking outwards all the time,
Yeah.
we're distracted with a lot of distractions. We don't actually connect with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And but the soul is on a journey and needs to get somewhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually need to get anywhere, to be honest with you. It just needs to stay put. But it wants you to know that, connect with yourself. Connect with yourself. So whenever you're connecting with these bottles, you're connecting with yourself at a deep level. And yes, sometimes we think that what we're doing is actually all right, but it may not be. We're all connected, and how we treat ourselves is really how we're treating others. When we what I found with color mirrors is there's a letting go of a lot of baggage. Which obscures what you truly are. When you can let that go, you can be yourself. And it doesn't really matter whether somebody, is happy with the way you are or not. Usually they will be, because how you are is how you affect somebody else. So if you're pretending to be something that you're not, there's an uneasiness somewhere, and there'll be friction somewhere. But when you are what you are, there's nothing for friction to latch onto. You're not affected if somebody hasn't quite resonated. But eventually I find that there's a softening in the other person. There might be an initial resistance, but then there is a softening.
Hey, when you do these the colored mirrors, do you do them like with a Celtic cross, and they do with tarot cards? Do you do it that way? Or
No, no. As I said, there's a number of ways you can do it. For me, it's at the moment. It's literally at the moment. I just decide, okay, it just suddenly starts to come and suddenly starts to flow, because I get the energy of it, of, what needs to happen. And sometimes clients are so much in tune that they come in and they automatically pick a few bottles and say, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? But the fact that they've picked the bottles and they've picked them in the order that they have, just, it's painted the story already. And then, we work from that, and then I might ask them to choose another bottle, or rearrange the bottles in any particular way. And then the bottles, because it's energy, the bottles start to talk, the colors start to talk. It's actually a language. They just start to talk, and I just call it the language of the soul, really, because it's they just start to talk. It's difficult to explain, but how they are. I had one case where a client came to me, and she had a very difficult question. So from the bottles that she picked, I told her, well, I didn't tell her, it was clear what the answer was, and she saw it. She wasn't happy with the answer. So she rang me the next day and she said, I forgot to ask another question. Can I come? So I said, you can. That'll be another reading, because I had already got the energy of what was going on. And she came and she chose different bottles, but it was in effect the same question. She just wanted a different answer. Well, even though she'd chosen completely different bottles, the energy said the same answer. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. So for both, even though she tried to change the outcome, it just was not possible, because these bottles, they're energy, and energy doesn't lie.
And if someone were to come for you a reading, is it instant, or does it take time? How do you work with that practically?
I usually allow an hour. Sometimes the answer is immediate. Sometimes it takes, when I say sometimes, I'm talking about minutes rather than the whole hour. Most of the other hour is when we talk about, we go into the bottles in more detail when I explain what's actually going on. But it's almost instant. I would say it's almost instant, give or take a few minutes. You get there very quickly. You get there. It's just, the bottles just speak. And it's not just me as a facilitator who sees that. The clients see it as well. They feel it, because on an energetic level, everybody feels, we know. They may not know the meaning of the bottles, because, every bottle, there's a book written actually called The Wisdom of Color Mirrors by Grani and Melissi. And that gives a lot of detail about each bottle. Sometimes you go up 2-3 pages, big pages with each bottle. So sometimes we go into each bottle in more depth, but the answer is clear. They've got it, and they've, sometimes they have to release, in the form of tears, or, I've had I've had plenty of clients who've actually started crying and then within seconds started laughing. And they're like, but how is it possible to cry and laugh within the same time period? But it is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I put those things up there, and while you girls have been talking, I've been looking at this whole chart, and none of it resonates with it except for where we were before. And what's actually happening for me personally is that this one here, that third one and this one here, those two have come together, and it's almost like they come in as a blend. Does that make sense? They come in, overshadow each other. They become one. Yeah. Do you ever get that sort of? That sounds really, really strange and quite abstract. But do you get that where they seem to blend and they come in?
Yeah, it's exactly like that as you describe. They start to talk to you. So, funnily enough, actually, just I'll just bring it in very quickly. But coral and pink. That coral is Jupiter, which is expansion. The pink one is Venus, which is love. Those two colors are actually my brand.
Yeah.
Apart from that, this is, what you're doing as well is what those 2 bottles are about. It's about expanding the love. This is the new way to live. There is no other way now. There is actually no other way, because the rest is not living. This is the way to live in love and to expand that love. And, that encompasses everybody and everything and everything and every creature and the whole universe. There's or the whole world to begin with, at the very least. But there's an expansion, there's love, there's just, and although we go out like that, it also comes in like that, because as you go out, it comes in. It's like a breath.
And what's the significance of those 2 bottles merging?
Well, that's exactly as I've said. It's
Yeah,
expanding
because
our
one
love. It's expanding. Even this work that you're doing, the dreaming the new dream.
Mm-hmm.
We're dreaming the new dream. We can be living the new dream. That is about expanding the love. It's love. Love is the way. Love actually is the way, and it's not love like boyfriend, girlfriend, that sort of thing, or anything like that. It's actually being in love with yourself, with life, with whoever you're with. It's that one connection. We're all connected. You see, we're all connected, and it's that love, that one love.
So this one over here, is that Jupiter? And this one over here is...
No, that's Jupiter. The one that the coral one, yes, the one that you're doing now is Jupiter.
Right.
And the other one is Venus.
Okay. Right, very good. Seems
Well,
strange.
you've got it there, you see, because you didn't know about this, but you recognize that there is a connection, which actually dreaming the new dream is. That is those 2 colors together.
Right. Okay. It took a while, I have to say.
You've never seen this before, and you've got it. And you've been talking about other things in the meantime, but you've got it. It's exactly that.
Yeah, because obviously I was drawn to the
communication. It's all, when you add it all up together, if you were to add it all up together, you're communicating the new dream, which is expanding love.
All right, gotcha.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell, that's exactly it.
Oh, very good, very potent. So, anyone watching from Australia, or UK, Europe, they can activate and come through on your email. Where did I just had that? Yeah, contact there, and they can also come through on your phone.
Yeah.
For overseas callers, so they can text something up, and then you can just come through on Zoom, and
Yes.
they can just, you have the bottles, we have a chart there, and they can pick the bottles just like I've done it here in Australia. Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. And the other thing is, as I do Ayurveda, because I'm a diet and lifestyle consultant, what I have discovered is, particularly when I do the pulse diagnosis, but even when I'm talking to clients, that when I get to their life history, in a way, I get to the root of their issues, their physical, mental, and emotional problems.
Mm-hmm.
And then I use the color to get the client to see the root of their issues. So, I've already got what the issue is. And then we use the medium of color to get to the deep cellular level so that they don't repeat. We in a way attempt to break that connection that is going to cause this impending dis-ease. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So, it's very, very potent. It's really fantastic. To be able to do that, I think that is, I've seen the connection, and I've used it, and we've got to the root and just shifted the possible manifestation of the illness coming. We've shifted it.
Well, illness is said to come from the outside in, and once you can recognize behaviors or thoughts, it doesn't have to become physical in order to learn the lesson.
Yes, because most of illnesses are psychosomatic.
Okay.
Now, you said,
And in one of you,
sorry.
yes, this is the one.
You sent us this little blurb about your dietary and lifestyle consultant for the food. Well, you got the sound therapy as well, but foods is Priti's. It's a crutch, so you might have to speak about food.
Well, Priti and I are very similar. We make up dishes, don't we? Because we know about food. We know about food, you see. So it's very easy to make our own concoctions, and they usually turn out really well, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do. And I have to say, Alka rolls a tighter swirl than I do. And I have to say, the first time I'd seen this was when you sent it to us. And I really like the way in which you've put the symbols of the Chinese 5 elements included with the Patavita Kapha. So bringing together the Chinese and the Indian in this, Patavita Kapha, all the elements. And the 5 elements, to the best of my knowledge these days, the Chinese 5 elements originated from the ancient Sanskrit from India. But then the Indians have played with it since, because it's theirs and they liked it. So to see all 8 of those together was quite an eye-opener for me. I was quite... Do you see the picture I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Well, Ayurveda is literally as old as time. There's a conservative estimate of about 5,000 years, but it's much, much older.
Yeah.
Because I've really gone into Ayurveda. I felt it in my bones. And being brought up in the Hindu religion, it's not really a religion. I mean, Hinduism is, but it's a way of being. And the very, very, very ancient stories, which actually ties in with Ayurveda. So I feel that this is very, very old. I feel, my personal view, and it's a personal view because I can't prove it, but I feel that this is like from the previous, we're going through the Kali Yuga. Well, sorry, we've gone through the Kali Yuga now. We're starting the Dwapara Yuga. But I think it was the last time that we had the Kali Yuga, which would have been thousands and thousands of years ago. So it's not just many thousands, many, many years before that. So these Ayurveda was brought forward, if you like, through the rishis who were meditating sort of 24/7. And their burning question was, what are we? What am I, rather? What am I? And so then they were able to go within their bodies, and obviously they were so high vibrational, I can just say it like that, really. They were able to transverse the veils and seek direct information. And anyway, what they found was that this body, it consists of those 5 elements, which is space, air, fire, water, and earth. And actually everything else in the universe does as well. Everything from the ant to the rock to the sky to everything. We're all composed of these 5 elements. And then they found the workings of the body, and they found that we all have our original blueprint, or our prakriti, our original blueprint. And basically those 5 elements, they grouped into 3 based on what happens inside our body. So you have the vatas, which is composed mostly of ether and air. So you find that a lot of vata individuals who've got vata in their prakriti, their original constitution, will tend to be the very creative ones, because there's a lot of movement, or they'll be constantly on the go, or with their thoughts as well. They'll be either very thin, or they'll be either very tall or very small. They're constantly moving. There's a lot of restlessness in them, but they're very creative. And then the next group were the pittas, which was the combination of the fire and the water. And these are the analytical thinkers, the philosophers, the lawyers, really. The the ones who can work things out, who can see through things, who don't necessarily go off into certain areas, but they can see through things. And then you've got the kaphas, who are the stable ones, really, who tend to have put on weight. They consist primarily of water and earth, so they're heavier. They're more prone to a sedentary lifestyle. They're very loyal, and they live long lives because they've got stamina. So that was how they broke it down into the 3, because we all have those elements within us to varying degrees. So it's not that we all have 1/5 of each element. There are certain elements which are more pronounced in us. And that, so we find out what your original constitution is. And so then you eat foods that correspond to that original constitution to try to get you back to that constitution. So, but if you've got an imbalance, because with modern lifestyles and the stresses that we go through in life, that puts our original constitution out of balance. So we then look at foods and lifestyles to counteract that imbalance, which is called vikriti, so that you get back to your original blueprint, which is your prakriti, if we're going to use the Sanskrit. Because the idea is that you get back to what you were originally. And that is perfect health. Because if you're doing, so for example, somebody who is creative, if you put them behind a screen and doing admin, that's going to destroy them. If you give them really heavy food, that's really going to put them out of sync.
Yeah.
So you give them the foods that are relevant for their body type, their body blueprint. Or any imbalances. We try to get rid of the imbalances first to get you back to that blueprint. It's like, if you were to buy a car, and say you bought a diesel car and then started putting petrol in, you're going to destroy that body. So it's really putting the right foods in and the right food combinations specifically for you. Yeah. So it's all very interesting, the food aspect, the life aspect, and it's all about being in balance with and in harmony with nature. Even being in tune with the circadian rhythm, so that you start getting back to, what we should be back to. There's been too much disruption to our lives through stresses, through work ethics, work non-ethics sometimes, relationships. When you can get back to your original blueprint, you will be what you are. So it's very holistic. It looks at the individual as an individual. There's no one plan for 20,000 people. It's one plan for one person based on what is going on in their life and what is, what they need to get back to.
Yeah.
This
And presumably that would change as they change.
Yes,
So
not
what
the Prakriti
is
will never
appropriate
change. Not the original constitution won't change. But obviously, as we go through life, then depending on what is going on outside of us, and it depends where you live as well. For example, what is going on in that area, what your surroundings are, how it's affecting you. So you can be a yogi in the midst of the city of London, and nothing will affect you. Yeah. Or equally, you could put a city person in the Himalayas, and the insects would affect you.
Yeah.
So it's
because
like,
I recall.
Yeah,
I recall when I delved into the Ayurvedic nutrition, that while I was reading about Pitta, Vata, Kapha, I could identify with all bits of it, not entirely with one or the other. And when I was younger, I was much more Vata,
yes.
and now I'm older, I feel more Kapha. But that could be because I have a jolly imaginative side to me.
Yes. I think we all have an imagination. Okay. I was very, very imaginative as a young child. And in fact, everything that I imagined then has come true. However, your original blueprint will always remain that. So my blueprint, for example, is, I don't mind saying it, is Pitta Kapha, which means I'm action orientated. But I'm also very loyal and very, sturdy. With its tendency to a sweet tooth, I don't mind saying it. But I don't have that in it. So I find creating something, I mean, I know what I would like, but I don't have, for example, the technological skills to, currently anyway, to put that into action. But, my desire, like I was saying originally, my desire has always been to help people. It's always been to give. I feel very blessed, and that's why I want to give, because I've really had the blessings. So because that is my blueprint, that's always going to be remaining with me. So that's remained with me from childhood to the current stage. There'll be some people who will change, but their original blueprint doesn't change. What they're really about doesn't change. So yes, you can go through, yes, we're currently in our Vata stage of life, yeah, which is supposedly supposed to be generation, yeah, because a lot of movement happening, is wearing us down. However, it doesn't have to be. If you go back to your original constitution, you can still be action orientated and still be the loyal person and the one who cares about people, for example. You don't have to let the Vata degeneration set in. And that those who are Vata orientated, their creative side to them, can increase, for example, in the Vata stages. It doesn't have to be just looking at things degenerating. Ayurveda is actually about you taking responsibility for your life and putting yourself in the best position health-wise, mentally, physically, emotionally. It covers all areas. Sorry, I don't know did I answer your question?
I think so, yes. Yeah, I think that's perfectly well answered. Wow, it's completely fascinating that colours, diet, even, if someone were to come and do a colour session with you and they pick particular colours, is there the possibility that that would be the colour of the foods that they need to kind of look at as well? I'm thinking about blueberries or strawberries. You know, they have their own colours. Do the colours vibrate through the foods in the same way?
Yes, it does, because you know our body picks up the vibration of color through anything. You know, we're affected by color on all levels.
Yeah.
Literally, we're affected by color on all levels. I mean, to give you an example, you know, there was someone I knew whose mother died, and it caused a lot of rupture in the family. And she was very, very, very upset when she came. And so I wrapped an orange blanket around her. She stayed with me for some time, and she kept that orange blanket around her. Well, orange is a very comforting blanket. It also removes the abuse, if you like. And within a week, actually, she was so much better. And it was actually a horrendous situation that she was going through at that time. But she was just so much better. And I feel that it was, you know, by wrapping her in that orange, because it you know, that color is a happy color. It soothed her. You know, like, for example, the sadhus and the monks of India, for example, they will wear orange because they have a complete lifestyle. And it's to take away the shock as well of the change in life. And that's, so that color actually helps them. So anything to do with grief, you know, I've learned from that situation, actually, to wrap orange, or even have an orange mug or something that you're holding, you know. It just, because color affects us on all levels.
Yeah. Who'd have thought it?
A lady called Vera Adler from the UK. We're going back to the 1800s. And she wrote a book on color therapy, and it was based on colored bottles. And so you could put water in different colored bottles and then put them out in the sun.
Yes. Ayurveda recommends that as well, actually.
The issue, of course, was the brown bottles, and how you could only keep it in the sun for a short period of time, because it really changed the structure of the water to the point that, you know, you really couldn't drink the whole lot because you'd have to go to the toilet.
That's right. I mean, I think they use that therapy in some medical institutions.
All right.
But definitely in Ayurveda also recommends colored infused bottles.
Yeah. And what about breatharianism? Have you come across that?
What's that exactly? Sorry.
Breatharianism.
No, what is that? Sorry.
Where you wake up, and so in the morning you go out there and you just sun glaze.
Oh yes. Sorry. Yeah, I know that. I didn't know the word.
I know.
Actually, in Ayurveda, they highly recommend. It's highly recommended to get at least half an hour of the morning sun. It's very important to do that, because, you know, the sun is where life begins. You know, if the sun was to disappear, we'd all be dead. So it's where, you know, it's where life begins. So we have to get the sun infusion. Yeah. Sure.
I remember years ago in Brisbane here, we've got islands just off the coastline here, and there's one called North Stradbroke. There's about 8 of us, and we hired a big house that overlooked the ocean. And one of the blokes said, "Come on, let's get up early in the morning and we'll watch the sunrise." So we all get out there and on the deck there, and we're watching this, about to watch the sunrise. But what was really amazing was all these different birds that popped up on the power lines and in the trees and on the gutter on the roof. And the ocean was calm as anything. I mean, we're talking about the Pacific Ocean, the Coral Sea. And then all of a sudden the sun just pipped up. And as it did so, it's like it sent a wave out, or a pulse. And all of a sudden the ocean started to create the waves. And then it was like music. It was coming waves and sets. You know, you might have 3 waves in a set, and then you might get the next one might be 5 waves in a set. And then the birds were going off, you know, singing away in a joyous occasion. When the sun was fully up off the actual water level, they already said, "See you later," and off they went. It was a really interesting situation to watch and observe how the light switch had been turned on, you know.
Yeah, that says it all, doesn't it? I mean, that explains everything.
Yeah,
I was just visualizing all of that as you were saying it, because I live near the sea. I live in Cornwall, and I could feel it.
there was a movie called City of Angels, which had Nicolas Cage in it, and
Yes.
they're all dressed in black, and they would be hovering around the library, and they would go down to the beach and watch the sunrise. They'll be seeing that picture of the sun coming up. Yeah. There you go.
So another reason why they call it the dawn chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that paints that's a perfect picture. You know, that really says it all. Just says it all. That vision was just beautiful.
Wow.
Right. Now, normally Pauline will ask you, is there a question that we should have asked you that we haven't asked, but you should, knowing something that we should have asked you, that it's almost like a 2 Ronnies situation. It's good night for you and good night for him. But before we do that, have you got a question that we should have asked you?
Yeah.
No, I was just using this as a conversation.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a delight, Alka, a complete delight, beautifully grounding, wonderfully visual. And I'm so pleased. Yeah, I'm so pleased you came to talk to the world about what you do and are living the new dream.
Yeah. One actually final thing I did want to say, if anybody out there is interested, I am going to be doing retreats. I mean, I do Ayurvedic cooking as well. And, there's the other things that I do, like Shirodhara treatments. But I am going to be doing retreats. If anybody, especially from abroad, doesn't have to be from abroad, though, is interested in having retreats here. And Pauline, you've been round. You've loved it here.
Get in touch.
Contact me. Yes, please do. I'd love to meet you.
Excellent. And if you have a look, Jeff is just pulling up whereabouts in England you are, down there in Cornwall.
Yeah,
I'm near England.
Somewhere. I'm near somewhere. I'm near Launceston, but it's in between Launceston and Bude, which is North Cornwall. A beautiful part of the world, absolutely stunning. Love it. Yeah.
So above Truro, is it?
Yeah, above Truro.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're about an hour from Truro.
Okay.
On the near the coast. Well, we are near the coast, but near Devon. But
okay, great. So north, further up.
Yeah. Near Tintagel, not far from Tintagel, which is a historic place. And there's so many beautiful places around here. It's just a beautiful area, full stop.
Yep.
Here we go. Phenomenal.
Yeah,
Well, thank you very, very much, Alka.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jeffrey.
You're welcome.
Okay, so it's goodbye from him and it's goodbye from me.